Hello, everyone. And this is Chris Ike again. And today we just want to make a very short video on what is trending and the government reckless spending, especially with the issue of the 90 billion naira going to Hajj for those going to Hajj to subsidize the Hajj movement with 90 billion. And also the Lagos Calabar coastal road. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with the Lagos Calabar coastal road, but where we have problem is this the right time to construct that road? Nigeria is struggling, and we want to spend that much money to construct that amount. That's big project. I personally would think that the government would have suspended it and find ways to secure the country and assist small businesses to get out of the mess we're in. That money would have been better spent guaranteeing small business loans for the small business owners, or better still, be used to protect the country. It looks more like the government does not give a damn about the insecurity in the country. And what the government thinks about now is to spend that much money on road construction. Well, another issue about the road construction cost is where would the government get the funds from? Where would the government get the funds to spend on this project? We know all along we've been borrowing to hold the dollar down. We've been borrowing for almost everything that we do, and no new funds are coming in. We heard of recent that the government is trying to dip hands into the retirement funds. For me, there is nothing wrong with government dipping hands into the retirement funds. But the law says 5%. But if we're dipping our hands into the retirement funds, are we using them to get productive productive projects? Are we using that money to generate more funds? Not only we're talking about the Lagos Calabar coastal roads, we're also talking about just recently the government is subsidizing the Hajj with 90 billion naira. Very soon, they will also subsidize the pilgrimage to Israel for a country that's a secular country, for a country that is barely struggling to survive, and government to spend this much money into the hands of few individuals to go and pray. Come on, Nigeria. How do we think the lending countries will look at us? How do we think the world will look at us? That as at this age, we still spend a lot of money on religious trips that are totally private. If not, we're using that funds to settle our political friends. Of what productive use would that 90 billion be? If only we can imagine that money is properly channeled to small businesses in Nigeria, what will be happening to the businesses today? So the money we are trying to borrow for the retirement funds, not only to fund our projects that are not needed now, we're also using that same funds to fund, what do you call it? Hajj to Mecca. Hajj to another country, helping Mecca make more money at the expense of Nigerians. And we think this is okay. Nigeria, come on, wake up. Of what use would the Hajj be to us? If religion should be your private business, going to heaven is your private business. It's between you and God. We're all we're all religious in nature, but it must not be our national business. Why are we using religious solution for for physical problems? And we still talk about why the monetary policy and the fiscal policies are not working. When the preconditions for those things to work are not being met. Who in the world borrows money to fund religious trips? When you can't stay and pray in your home if you have to pray. We're deceiving ourselves. The lending countries see how stupid Nigeria is. We're borrowing money to feed ourselves. We're still borrowing money to fund Hajj, to build coastal roads that at this moment we don't need it because of the cost of it. We all know that the government cannot complete those projects. Nigerians, what is wrong with us? Do we have to fund the pilgrimage? If you have funds to go to Mecca or go to Israel, it's your private business. Nobody cares. Let's not forget that Nigeria is not only Christians and Muslims. We also have pagans. We also have people who are traditional worshippers. What happens to them? We are deceiving ourselves of what economic value is the 90 billion Hajj subsidy would do for Nigeria. When we have businesses closing shops every day because they can't buy the materials. We have families that can't feed themselves. We have pensioners that we can't pay. We are struggling to catch up with basic things. We're removing oil subsidy, electricity subsidy, but using that same funds, putting them into Hajj. Nigerians, the government is not serious in trying to correct the mistakes of the past. Somebody should explain to us what is wrong with Nigeria. Cardoso and the group. If we can raise up our voice to tell the government that what you are doing is wrong, we don't accept it. Nigeria is bleeding. Our naira is losing value every day because there is no domestic production to hold the naira. Like I said before, can you imagine if this 90 billion is targeted at some productive industries? What will happen to them? Or make it as a guaranteed loan for them, or even invest it into agriculture. What will happen? But no, we choose to spend it on Hajj. And the next pilgrimage will be the Christian pilgrimage. We also have to fund theirs. So they can go to Mecca and Jerusalem and pray for us. Prayers that we can't pray at home. Nigeria, we are not ready to fix our country. God help Nigeria. As always, if you are a leader in this current situation, would you invest 90 billion